This regular city council meeting order. We ask for your supernatural guidance, Lord, as we make some difficult decisions in this meeting. Assist us in carefully considering the pertinent material that has been gathered. May those who are giving information provide us with important details so that we may all understand. As we discuss ideas, please assist us in being innovative. Help us to weigh the benefits and drawbacks of our options intelligently. Assist us in remaining united in making the finest decisions possible and carrying them out efficiently. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Here.
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 Present.
Here.
Here.
All Aldermen are present except for Alderman Oliver. Oath of office for the police officer Troy Kissel. If you come forward.
Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of police officer according to the best of your ability?
Congratulations. Remember my face.
It's only me and Megan that said that. I already saw that first, Megan. I told him that first.
Tonight we're honored to have the Park District to make a presentation regarding the Manors Park pool.
Guys, so as you may have heard by now, we are looking at building a new pool for Manors Park. Our current pool is going to be 61 years old this summer, and so we are here, myself and some board members and some committee members that we've been working with, to just kind of get all the information out there so there's any questions and to kind of get everybody on the same page about it. So I do have a short slideshow just to kind of get the information to everybody. So a quick history of the pool. The first pool was built in 1910 in Manors Park. So Manors Park has had a swimming pool for the community of Taylorville for over 100 years. The second pool was built just located outside the front entrance with help from support of the local Lions Club. And of course, our current pool was built in 1962. It already has been renovated twice, in '82 and again in 2002. Why do we need a new pool? The pool does a lot for us. It provides a safe place for all ages to enjoy the summer. It's an opportunity for all to learn how to swim. It's summer employment for lots of young adults. We usually have 25 to 30 employees during the summer. It's great exercise. We provide a sport in our youth for our local swim team, an attraction for stable community growth, and provides a fun, stable atmosphere. Participation in numbers. This past summer, we had 72 kids that participated on swim team, and there they are with their conference championship. I'd also like to note that we have kids from Pana, Kincaid, Tower Hill, Shelbyville, Hillsborough, Litchfield, and Edinburgh. A lot of these towns have their own swim team, but those parents choose to drive to Taylorville to participate in our swim team. So they're eating here, they're stopping here, they're spending money in Taylorville while they're using our facilities. Swim lessons. We had the privilege of teaching 150 kids how to swim this past summer. That is an astronomical number, and it continues to grow every single year. Water aerobics. We average about 35 participants each class, and we offer 60 classes through the summer, as well as water Zumba. And then, like I mentioned, we have our employment for 25 youths through here. current pool conditions. Okay, why do we need to fix her up and get her fixing? Numerous spots are leaking water, groundwater coming in. The floor, which I will show you pictures of, is cracking and falling apart. Our surge tank is not code compliant. The zero depth entry and lap pool are no longer code compliant. Multiple ADA requirements that we need to update as that continues to, change. The main drain piping is heavily corroded, as that is original as well to the pool. And as you'll see as we go through here, all the wonderful things that are going on with it. So here's a few pictures of the bottom of the pool. We try to patch as best we can every single year, but again, every single year they come up, and we do the best with what we have. There's no just, this will come out every year. This piece right here actually came out a week before our pool season ended. So while water was in the pool, this came up, and we had to get very creative in blocking this off during the season. And this would just continue to go and go, and you can see like it's not a small area, that's probably a 5-foot area there. This is a picture of groundwater coming into the pool. So in the off season, that continues to come in. So during the season, that water is going out. All right, so we wouldn't have this new pool, there's less water being used, all sorts of things. So the pool is never dry. That's just another picture. That's our deep well. So you can see there where the aluminum sides hit the deep well walls. It starts to slide down there. That's all groundwater as well coming in. And then that is one of the seams. You can see it's at least the width of my foot, and that goes all the way down the pool. Again, we try to patch and fix these every summer, and then just hope that it lasts through those 12 to 13 weeks that we are open. But it's getting, every single summer there's more and more and more patches to fix. Couple cracks there that I'm showing here. There's multiple ones throughout the decking. Baby and medium pool have been unoperational for quite some time now. They still are the original pools with the aluminum bottom. If you were to walk on them, they're very soft and they bounce, so there's not a whole lot underneath them. And of course, all of the piping and everything to those that are underground are completely corroded, so we wouldn't be able to fill them or maintain water in them if we wanted to. Here's a couple pictures of our main pool pumps. Hot water heater and pipes. The big white thing there, that's our surge tank. And then some electrical and other pipes and stuff. And then just some other fun pictures from around. Competing pool reviews in number. You can see there our population in conjunction with Pana, Nokomis, Shelbyville, and Hillsborough, which are probably the closest to us. And then we've got, the distance from Taylorville and the pool size. We do have a good pool size considering our population. Shelbyville is probably the next closest to us, and their pool is new as well. They just put in a new pool maybe 10 years ago. Maybe it's been less than that, but theirs is new. Pool construction costs. I know it's hard to read on here, but I gave you guys a copy in that thing there too. We're looking at $7.2 to $7.8 million for a new pool. I think we all know at this point, and as you guys working with the city, you know that nothing comes at a small price when you're dealing with prevailing wage and everything like that. So this does kind of go down the line items with things on there with the decking and everything. New pool. This is a design that we put together with the help of Burbach Aquatics, the engineering company that we hired 2 years ago. We've been working on this project for almost 3 years now. Burbach Aquatics only does aquatic engineering, and they only work with municipalities, which makes them uniquely designed to work with the Taylorville Park District or any taxing body. After we started working with them, they went through, did a technical evaluation, and then we put together a pool committee with citizens of Taylorville, and we went through multiple designs before we kind of stuck on this one. I think this was our 5th or 6th design here. So as you can see, we're going with a more of an L shape than the T that we currently have. It'll be a 25-meter left lane one way with the diving boards, and then a full 50-meter down there. That allows us to hold lots more meets, especially with having a long course there. I don't believe I have anybody from swim team here, but with those long course meets, there's not very many of them in our area that have the 50-meter. And when you do long courses, you can do up to 400 kids at a meet. So that's a lot of kids and families that will be coming in to Taylorville for that. This little lagoon area there, that will be your zero depth entry. So it'll start, 0 and go down to about 2.5 feet. And have some toys and things for our little ones. They'll kind of have their own area that way, unlike the zero depth that we currently have. And then the smaller fenced-in portion up at the top that has the red boxes next to them. The red boxes are shade structures, and then in that fenced-in area will be a true zero depth where it doesn't hold water. You've probably seen a lot of like the splash pads. A lot of cities have those. And the unique thing with that will be, since it's fenced off with a separate area, is we'll be able to operate that before and after the season closes. So even though the pool might have to close, when kids go back to school, you lose a lot of your staff. But a lot of times it's still, 110 degrees through September. We'll still be able to offer that for the community to come and cool off and have fun on the weekends and everything. So pool funding, what we are looking at, we will be doing some fundraising, the capital campaign. We will be applying to the OSLAD grant. This last year they did a $600,000 matching grant. We're hoping that they'll do a $600,000 again. It does not open up until July, but as soon as that does, we will be applying for that. iPark grant, they did not do this last year, but if they open it again, that can go to 2.5. Fingers crossed that they offer that and that we will apply and things go from there. Help from the city, really why I'm here, guys, is just to spread the information. We are going to a referendum, as you can see on that bottom one, for $6.5 million on the April ballot. That is all the park can bond for. We can't bond for the full, $7.8 million. That's why obviously we do grants anyway, but that's why we'll be doing some fundraising as well, because we cannot bond for more than the 6.5. So we're hoping that that passes in April. So besides, really then what we're here for is just to get the information out to everybody, to get it out to the voters, to hopefully everybody realizes what a big thing the pool is for our community. I don't know. I like to think that a town our size sees the need for the children and the families of Taylorville for it. I did give you one of these, a letter that we sent out that has the assessed home value and estimated tax amount of what it would go up. So just for a quick example on there, if your home is assessed at $100,000, your estimated tax amount would be $66 for a year. If you break that down, that's $5.50 a month of what you would pay more for that referendum. And all I'm asking for the city is support. I'm not asking you to give us money. I'm literally just asking for your support. If people in your ward have questions that you would, if they have questions, please point them in my direction at the park. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that I can. But I really hope that everyone up there and everybody in our town sees the need for the pool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Any questions, just call the park office tomorrow, or if anybody would like to give her cell phone maybe.
I would be happy to.
It is 825-6499.
Oh, just throw it out there. Yeah, cell phone, not even the office number. 824-5878. Or Bailey@TaylorvilleParkDistrict.com, please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for your time. I really appreciate it.
Motion to approve the omnibus vote designation.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Bryant, second.
Second.
Alderman Skoltedi. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Megan Bryant?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Steve
Yes.
Dodson, Debbie Driscoll?
Yes.
Crystal Teddy?
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson?
Yes.
Doug Brown?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Minutes of the public hearing held March 6, 2023. Minutes of the regular meeting held March 6, 2023. Minutes of the Lake and Airport Committee meeting held March 9, 2023. Minutes of the Water and Environmental Committee meeting held March 9, 2023. Minutes of the Oak Hill Cemetery Board of Managers held March 14, 2023. Minutes of the Finance Committee meeting held March 16, 2023. And minutes of the Ordinance Committee meeting held March 16, 2023. Motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Alderman Bryant, second.
Second.
Alderman Driscoll. Questions or comments? Roll call?
Megan Bryant?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Steve
Yes.
Dorsones? Kathy Driscoll?
Yes.
Crystal Teddy?
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson?
Yes.
Jeff Brown?
Yes. Motion carries 7-0. Planning Commission recommendations. Mr. Kretzer?
Mayor, we, as a planning commission, recommends the location map and sketch map of the step minor subdivision by majority vote.
The motion to approve the Planning Commission recommendation?
So moved.
Alderman Bryant, second. Alderman Brown, questions or comments? Roll call?
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Steve
Yes.
Dorsones? Kathy Driscoll?
Yes.
Crystal Teddy?
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson?
Yes.
Jeff Brown?
Yes.
Megan Bryant?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Thank you, Pat. Ordinance approving and authorizing the authorization of the execution of a business development district number 1 redevelopment agreement by and between the city of Taylorville and Cozy Grind LLC, doing business as the Alexa Beauty Bar and Salon, and Matthew H. Rogers.
So moved.
Motion of Alderman Bryant, second.
Second.
Alderman Skoltedi. Questions or comments? Roll call?
Steve Dorsones?
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll?
Yes.
Crystal Teddy?
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson?
Yes.
Jeff Brown?
Yes.
Megan Bryant?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Mayor Barry?
Yes, motion carries 8-0. Ordinance approving and authorizing the authorization of the execution of a business development district number 1 redevelopment agreement by and between the city of Taylorville and Karma Salon and Boutique LLC and Elizabeth Hohenstein. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Alderman Bryant, second.
Second.
Alderman Dorsones, comments or questions? Roll call?
Kathy Driscoll?
Yes.
Crystal Teddy?
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson?
Yes.
Jeff Brown?
Yes.
Megan Bryant?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Steve
Yes.
Dorsones? Mayor Barry?
Yes, motion carries 8-0. Ordinance approving and authorizing the authorization of the execution of the business development district number 1 redevelopment agreement by and between the city of Taylorville and Sangamo Brewing Company, Taylorville Incorporated, and Sangamo Brewing LLC and Thomas Newman. Motion of Alderman Bud, second. Alderman Brown, questions or comments? Roll call?
Crystal Teddy?
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson?
Yes.
Jeff Brown?
Yes.
Megan Bryant?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Steve
Yes.
Dorsones? Kathy Driscoll?
Yes.
Mayor Barry?
Yes, motion carries 8-0. Motion to approve the special events permit for Turn the Town Teal on the downtown square to be held from March 30th, 2023 to May 1st, 2023 for Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
So
Motion to approve, Alderman Bryant, second. Alderman Dorsones, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Motion to approve the special events permit for the 9th annual O'Reilly Auto Parts Car Cruise to be held on June 24th, 2023 from noon till 8 p.m. Motion to approve. Alderman Bud, second. Alderman Wilson, comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. City Attorney update.
First matter is, last Thursday during one of the committee meetings, there was a question raised about the city's water tower antenna agreement that they had with CTI. Julie and I talked with Representative CTI today, and they acknowledged that they are going, the bill's going to get corrected. They're going to send a 2-year bill to them. They're going to pay it. During that conversation, apparently the antenna is not up on the tower as of yet. They did, after the agreement was signed, shortly thereafter, they ran the fiber optic cable to put it at the base of your water tower, but had not put up the antenna. The plans are now, they're asking, is instead of 1 antenna, they want to put up 2, and also to add coax cable coming from the top of the tower down to the base. I think it's going to be put on, they asked to be put on the water committee meeting for April 13th. Aaron Mialis is going to bring some specifications for the request. And if you folks are in agreement with that, they'd like to be put on the agenda for the city council meeting on the 20th to amend the existing agreement to allow them to put up to 2 antennas. So you'll get to discuss that on April 13th. So, but they did acknowledge that they intend to pay the bill once they get it. That's good. Second item, today I talked with Brett Mason from, who handles your cemetery, Oak Hill Cemetery funds. Learned today that your former city treasurer is still the only person on those accounts. So I talked to Valerie today, and that's in the midst of getting changed. And he asked whether or not if any of the other board members on Oak Hill Cemetery board be also included on the accounts. I suggested that that not occur because you have bond insurance just for the city treasurer. That's the only person that should be on the accounts. So hopefully that'll get taken care of. The other thing about the cemetery, I think at some point they asked for the deeds to be amended, your cemetery deeds. When Julie and I looked into it, you don't need to change the cemetery deeds because apparently the cemetery board is allowing 2 interments per grave, 1 grave, maximum. Your rules and regulations need to be amended to state that, but you don't need to change the cemetery deed because the deed itself, the form we use, says it's subject to whatever rules of the cemetery board from time to time. So there will be no change in cemetery deed. Just make sure that your rules and regulations get changed the way you want them. I think it's like 2 cremations in one, or 1 cremation, 1 burial, or 2 bodies, I think is what the cemetery board was talking about. The other thing is I sent you a lot of emails today. There was a whole stream of them that's been going on the last week here from the RDE, the water tower project. They're not completed yet. They're trying to satisfy Ameren before it can be hooked up and ready to go. And I just got another email here at 6:08 tonight that says they're taking their shot at it. In reading it, there's some problems with signage, I guess, and they're not going to go out. They were going to inspect it today, but it didn't happen because the signs weren't right. So we're kind of waiting to see. Hopefully by the next council meeting, that'll be completed for your consideration and approval. With that, I kept you up to date on some other emails that we've got some activity going on with the FOIA request, and I sent those out to you for your reading pleasure. Also, this evening, I received an email, I thought from Steve Craigs, but he just copied on it, on the Krug subdivision request. Remember that many months ago? They're now going to answer some of the questions and move that along, so you may be hearing from us in a couple of weeks or a couple of meetings. Any questions? Okay, that's it.
Thank you. Mayor report. Welcome to our new police officer, Troy Kissel. I believe our police department is the best in the state. Thank you for approving our BDD agreement. It looks like the Sangerville Brewing Company is going to be open this summer or fall. Thank you to Bailey and the Park District for the presentation tonight. This new pool will be a great addition for our community. Our lake is due to open next Friday, March 31st, correct, Jeffrey? Tomorrow night, the school board meets to discuss the Performing Arts Center and Athletic Complex. May they make the decision that is best for everyone. And I've been busy the past 2 weeks meeting with legislators and hoping to secure more grant money. And hopefully the next month or so we will find out about the possible grants that we will apply for. Thank you very much. So, committee report. Discussion and/or motion to approve, adopt, and/or deny, and/or table, and/or amend, and/or refer to an appropriate committee in whole or in part the matters regarding the following subject matters discussed at the committee level. Lake and Airport.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First item, I'd like to make this in a form of motion to recommend to the City Council to approve the Whitetails Unlimited, Wild Turkey Federation, and Ducks Unlimited to pay for the survey for the new area of hunting ground at Lake Taylorville.
Motion by Alderman Brown, second.
Second.
Alderman Bryant, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Next, make this in form of motion to recommend to the City Council to approve the purchase of a four-wheel drive crew cab from Bob Ridings at a cost not to exceed $70,000 to be paid for from the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget.
Motion by Alderman Brown, second.
Second.
Alderman Bud, questions or comments?
I assume this is an outright purchase, no trade-in.
Right.
Okay.
Roll call.
Jeremy Wilson.
Yes.
Doug Brown.
Yes.
Megan Bryan.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Steve
Yes.
Dorsones. Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Crystal Petty.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Next motion is to recommend to the city council to approve the purchase of a Miller-Matic 255 MIG welder with latch cart at a cost not to exceed $4,338.10 to be paid from the fiscal year 23-2024 budget.
Motion by Alderman Brown, second.
Second.
Alderman Bud, questions or comments? Roll call.
Doug Brown.
Yes.
Megan Bryan.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Steve
Yes.
Dorsones. Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Crystal Petty.
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Next motion is recommended the city council to approve purchase of a land pride brush cutter from Farm and Home at a cost not to exceed $1,699.99.
Motion by Alderman Brown, second.
Second.
Alderman Driscoll, questions or comments? Roll call.
Megan Bryan.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Steve
Yes.
Dorsones. Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Crystal Petty.
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson.
Yes.
Doug Brown.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Motion, next motion is recommended the city council to forward the Lake Department fiscal year 2023-2024 budget to the finance committee.
Motion by Alderman Brown, second.
Second.
Alderman Bud, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Next motion is recommended the city council to award the bid for cabin cleaning to Ellen Sampson for $25 per cabin for the 2023 and 2024 and 2024 and 2025 lake seasons.
Motion by Alderman Brown, second.
Second.
Alderman Skoltedi, questions or comments? Roll call.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Steve
Yes.
Dorsones. Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Crystal Petty.
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson.
Yes.
Doug Brown.
Yes.
Megan Bryan.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Next motion is recommended the city council to award the bid for sanitation services from Nolan Plumbing of $85 per week for the 2023, 2024, and 2024, 2025 lake seasons.
Motion by Alderman Brown, second.
Second.
Alderman Dorsones, questions or comments? Roll call.
Steve
Yes.
Dorsones. Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Crystal Petty. Jeremy Wilson.
Yes.
Doug Brown.
Yes.
Megan Bryan.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Cemetery Board of Managers, Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to make this in the form of a motion to recommend to the city council to approve the survey of block 41 by Brenton Lindell at a cost not to exceed $5,650 to be paid from the Perpetual Care Interest Fund in the fiscal year 2023, 2024 budget.
Motion by Alderman Brown, second.
Second.
Alderman Wilson, questions or comments? Roll call.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Crystal Petty.
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson.
Yes.
Doug Brown.
Yes.
Megan Bryan.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Steve
Yes.
Dorsones.
Motion carries 7-0. Finance Committee, Alderman Bud.
Thank you, Mayor. First motion was to recommend the city council approve the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget for the downtown Taylorville in the amount of $92,478 to be paid out of the Business Development District Fund.
Motion by Alderman Bud, second.
Have a comment.
Second. Alderman Skoltedi, comment, Alderman Bud.
I will not be supporting this because I want to take some of this BDD funds and use it to put into our new industrial park to advertise that. We've been down out there 2 years now and nothing has happened. We need to get into the advertising of that. I explained that the other night at my committee meeting. I've talked to one of the members on the small town Taylorville, and I would have no problem with the current budget that we have of $76,000, but I think we need to put some money in out there to get that up and going.
Comment, anyone else? Mr. Craig, you have a comment?
Sure. Well, I wanted to give you just a couple more slides. I know we went through all of the video and audio stuff the other night, but we did have a couple other things to add into it. In with that, I think Larry's got a really good point. Part of what we were going to be promoting in this additional 16,000 some odd dollars that we've got up there are the other areas of our city. And I would advocate that we would maybe take on a joint promotional program with them, because it kind of needs some help. I mean, I checked the website today just out of curiosity. I was looking at it, and is a pretty plain type site. It's really not a, you know, doesn't jump at you and once you want to, you know, once you come to Taylorville. And I don't think it's getting sales funneled in any respect in terms of advocated out on Facebook or Instagram or, you know, the state of Illinois level, because they have, you know, the DECA group and they've got economic development state level. Perhaps we could start to sit down together and put together some marketing plans, and I'd be happy to help with it and get a few other people on board with some more brain power to help push this thing along a little bit more. Because right now that website is just kind of sitting there. It's not a glamour, and it doesn't have any sales funnel. That's what all of this is about. This is creating a sales funnel for our city. Now, the sales funnel so far has been really advocating restaurants, shopping primarily, but this season, a big portion of this $16,000 additional budget is supposed to be to promote the balance of our city. So I would welcome that opportunity. I really would. I always wanted to kind of get involved in helping promote that a little bit more. And in fact, you brought up a really good idea the other day too when we were talking about the Sangamon Brewing Company. They're close to pulling the trigger on putting a brewing company in, an actual brewing facility. Now, they've been up in Springfield talking it over. But with Larry's idea, and we brought it to Tom Noonan the other day, what about bringing it to our industrial park where we have some further incentives, because they've kind of run up against a wall in Springfield. And so they have some financial partners that are strongly considering coming down to Taylorville right now with the brewing center, and it would be at that park. So I think that that's a very good possibility that I'd like to also go to work on. I mean, I talk to Tom all of the time in respect to Sangamon, the one who initiated that and brought him here to Taylorville. So I'd be very happy to get in the middle of that. So that's just a thought of an area maybe we could come together on, utilize this system that we have in place, because this is a marketing system. That's what this is. I mean, we're functioning on a volunteer basis as a marketing company for the city. And so why not join together a little bit further, grab a hold of some of the stuff that you've already spent some money on and make it happen together. And I'd welcome you folks to be involved in some of the marketing, you know, meetings. That'd be fine. I mean, that's what it's about, is getting the ideas going. So anyway, just to give you a little bit more, we're on the right track. I mean, we've had fantastic growth. The additional funding that we were looking for was $16,318. That goes into video creation. I mean, that's part of what we could pull into the central video is our industrial park. I think that would be a really good piece to pull into that thing. And then print and then social media expansion, which is again directing people towards our city. We would be spending an extra $10,000 on social media expansion because we've had great results with the social media. Here's a slide that you didn't see. This is in the packet that I have, and it's towards the back of the packet. It would be probably about the fourth sheet in. This is one you really want to pay attention to. Your money, we've spent money in 2021 and 2022. We had a $62,000 budget, I think, initially. Is that about right? And we had $76,000 this last year. So 148,000. This is the return in tax revenue that you've had for those 2 years. Additional, over the top of 2020. So the investment, $148,000. You got a $360,000 increase in actual sales tax revenue. That's a pretty good return. I mean, it's 2.5 to 1. The Facebook and Instagram statistics are right there. We've had, in 2021, we had 5,155 follows, 1 million impressions. In 2022, we went up to 10,110 page follows with 2.6 million impressions. Our Facebook posts have had over 76,000 likes and 50,000 link clicks. That's where, I mean, again, this is a sales funnel, so perhaps part of that marketing money can be spent on this industrial park and get some link clicks going that way to that website, which would be redeveloped and actually tell them something when they click on it. Because you go to it today and it's dormant. There's really not much there. In fact, your old director's name and phone number is still on there. So I don't think it's been updated probably in a couple, 3 years. So it'd be my guess. And I'm not trying to downgrade it at all. I'm trying to help it. I really, truly am. I'd like to see that thing cook. So our website has had 2021 had 21,000 site visits, which is about 1,750 people per month visiting our site. That's huge, it's a big number. In 2022, we had 30,000 site visits, so we're up to 2,500 people per month visiting that site. That's a pretty huge deal. So I think we're headed in the right direction. With further investment, we can get it up to approximately 35.5 million impressions. That's what our goal would be for this next season. We did 25 million impressions this last year. So, I mean, we're on a roll. You know, I would advocate that you would consider that $92,000 budget and let us finish constructively using it the right way, because this thing's working. We have people calling to hire Liz. I have had several people, and there are other towns. We've had Shelbyville call us saying, how do you do this? We've had Litchfield call us saying, how are you doing this? I did allow her to, you know, she's been real respectful of us, and she doesn't go out and source other business or other towns and cross-market against us. But we've had, how many have we had, like 4 or 5 towns come to us?
Oh, yeah, and plus they'll come and take the maps, they'll wanna know who makes the maps, how can they make the map, how can they do what Taylorville is doing, how did we, you know, why is our city doing this for us? And, you know, for the stores and the restaurants, and they wish their city did.
3 years ago,
We hear
there
all
was
the time.
0 maps in Buzz magazine from any town other than us. Now there's about 8.
So
Yeah.
kudos to you guys. I mean, other towns don't have this kind of program, and I really do appreciate you taking the initiative to go along with us and see something that is a creative idea, and it's really come together. I mean, it's really working. So we appreciate it. We'd like to see this budget pushed on up, and I'd be happy to help take on that marketing for an industrial park and help you out over there.
All right, thank you.
I do too.
Comment, if I may?
Comment?
Yes, for both of you two. Is this something that you can piggyback onto that? Does he have the connections that will help with the industrial park?
Well, we're working with Mr. Adams. He's working with the other group. If you noticed in the paper the other day, I think it was in the Saturdays or Sunday's paper, the Hopper Foundation donated $10,000 to the for marketing, and that's to market the whole industrial park and put it out on its own website to market this stuff, so that we can get into, for DCEOs, so we can get into all of the different sites to market the industrial park here in town. And that's why I want to use some of this money to go into there to help them with theirs, to pay part of that marketing for that, because it benefits the city and everyone around here.
So you have a marketing group, like there are marketing groups for the city, you
They're
have somebody
working on
already
getting-
specific?
They've got 2 individual groups that they're looking into to market the industrial park. And I don't know which one they're gonna go with.
And
I
that's
haven't, they
started
haven't,
They decided on the LaSalle Food Company.
Okay.
Adam Votes is the president of Taylorville Development Association. So him and A.B. Hagan and Dick Adams, and that's one other person I think is working on the marketing of that. And I believe the ballpark figure is about 25,000. So if Hopper gave 10, they're going to see the Taylorville Development Association won't pay the rest, but if not, they're going to come to the city of Taylorville to pay. So, like I said, I think it's both excellent opportunities. I suggest that we pass this. It comes out of the VDD fund.
Which has what, like $3 million in it right now?
Yes, 3.5 probably. I'm not sure.
So I wanna ask a quick question.
Last month to get 193, was that the last one?
From March.
For March, $193,000.
So, quick question, because I was not for this, and I think it was very well played to take what we said in committee and come back with how you could spin it to us, or spin it to this, which I like, but, so you say we could include the industrial park, so if we go ahead and we pass this, what is the guarantee that you will?
Oh, we will. We want to anyway. All we need is some communication on what levels we can help participate. I mean, if they've got a professional marketing company, then we would simply interface with them and see at what levels that we could help. You know, because that's a no-brainer. That needs to happen. That park needs to go. We'd love to see it go. And we'll do whatever we can to help it in that
Any other
respect.
questions or comments?
Just one comment, like,
Comments, so forth?
I noticed, there's no true guarantee, not writing it down on a sheet of paper, but why wouldn't it? I mean, by developing an industrial park, you're gonna bring in more business, bring in more jobs, bring in more money to be spent in the community. I mean, that's a no-brainer to have everybody working together. I mean, that would be, it'd be kind of silly on everybody's part not to work together to try to develop that as quickly as possible.
Exactly right.
All right, there's a motion and a second, roll call.
Chris Teddy?
Yes.
Jeremy Wilson?
Yes.
Doug Brown?
Yes.
Megan Bryan?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
I knew there was assurances that the city would support advertising in that LaSalle group, I would say yes. But I want to make sure that we do that. We need to participate in that. That's a big benefit to this community.
What's your vote? Yes or no?
He didn't vote.
I'm going to vote yes, but I'm going to come to you guys for more support for that.
Okay.
I don't know how you look at me.
Why do you
Yes.
look at me, Larry? Kathy Johnson, yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
It's still you, Larry.
Mr. Bud?
You're on.
All right. Okay, motion to recommend city council direct the city attorney to prepare an ordinance to administer a 30% late penalty fee for any and all license applications for our delinquent pending payment of license fees. Make that form of motion.
Motion by Alderman Bud, second.
Second.
Alderman Bryant, questions or comments? I assume this is going into the new fiscal year, May 1st, you'll have the ordinance ready.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct, May 1st, you want to go into effect?
Yes.
Okay. Roll call?
Jeremy Wilson?
Yes.
Doug Brown?
Yes.
Megan Bryan?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Steve
Yes.
Martinez? Yes. Kathy Driscoll? Chris Teddy?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Motion to recommend the city council forward the lake, cemetery, HBO, and airport budgets to the city treasurer for further refinement. Make that form of motion with a comment.
Motion by Alderman Bud, second. Second. Alderman Brown, questions or comments? Comment, Alderman Bud?
Today, the treasurer and I met in the little conference rooms there. We went through several budgets today, and there's really only 4 budgets that we need to be able to get that moving along, and that's the water, police, fire, and BDD. And BDD, we'll work with Julie on that to be able to get that one put aside. So we are working on the budgets to get it done earlier this year so we can try to catch mistakes that we didn't catch last year.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Last motion, recommend the city council approve the treasurer's report as presented. Make that form of motion.
Motion by Alderman Bud, second.
Second.
Alderman Dorsones, questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance, Alderman Skoltedi.
Thank you, Mayor. I think I need to adjust, this motion before it's read. It should be, instead of from Clay Street west, from the east side of Clay Street from West Franklin to 3rd Street, it should say from the east side of Clay, on the east side of Clay Street, from West Franklin south to the alley. Is that correct?
South to the what?
Alley.
Oh, alley.
Or
Yes.
West Ave.
West.
West.
And I said alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I say?
It doesn't matter.
West Franklin south to the alley. Is that right?
So we want the ordinance to go from Adams Street to the alley between Adams and Maple. And just the east side of the park.
As long as Mike knows where it's at.
Read that, Rocky?
I think so.
I don't know, but I got that.
I know.
It's the alley between Adams and
They
Maple.
can
No
rephrase.
parking on the east side of Clay Street from Adams to the alley between Maple and Adams.
I thought you said from West Franklin south.
We're not
to
doing
the
West
alley.
Franklin. Strike West Franklin. It's just,
South of West Adams to the alley between Adams and Maple. It's about a 60-foot, 80-foot
How about the
strip,
street?
no parking.
only the parking lots with the
That's the motion.
That's my motion.
Gravel.
All right.
Everybody understand what the
Second.
motion's supposed to mean?
Is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Bryant?
I'll check with Julie.
Roll call.
Mike.
Check with
Roll
Mike.
call.
Doug Brown?
Yes.
Megan Bryan?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Steve
Yes.
Martinez? Kathy Driscoll? Chris Teddy?
Motion to approve and or ratify payment of bills, $262,007.53. Motion by Alderman Bud, second.
Second.
Alderman Bryant, questions or comments? Comment, Alderman Bud.
Electric, 32,514, 32. Fuel, 16,413, 64. Garbage, 2,032. Ace, Ron's, Urban, Farm and Home, 3,046.97. Napa, O'Reilly's, and AutoZone, 1,026.42. U.S. Bank, 3,010.54. Illinois Risk Management, for auto and property, 39,622.25. Illinois Public Risk, 18,850. Travelers, 3,274.60. Downtown Taylorville.org, 3,676.79. Avazar, 3,114.65. Altor for 6,015.10. Computer Tech, 5,807.70. Breeze Courier, 1,633.60. Neil Tire, 1,991.75. PS Printing, 1,356.16. Insurance, 1,949.16. BDD, Handyman by Curtis, 9,273, and this is the BDD reimbursements. Lee and Diane Scanner, 1,850. Jacob and Klein, 1,875. Economic Development, 3,968.92. Police Department, Archive Social, 5,988. Central Service Center, 1,960.85. FirstNet, AT&T, 1,863.66. Fire Department, ESO Solutions, 6,439.68. Training, 1,399.33. Street Department, CCI, 3,982.50. Ricky Peters, 6,918.80. MFT, Nokomis Quarry, 2,150.08. Sewer Department, Benton Associates, 21,329. Vanavector Engineering, 2,446.44. ServPro, 1,655.33. Water Department Chemicals, 21,187.34. Shelby Supply for 3,911.37, and this totals to 243,506.24.
Any other comments or questions? Roll call.
Megan Bryant?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Steve
Yes.
Dorsones? Kathy Driscoll?
Yes.
Bill Teddy?
Yes.
Raymond Wilson?
Yes.
Doug Brown?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. First subparagraph G of 5 ILCS 120-2.06. This portion of the city council meeting is reserved for any person wishing to address the council on any relevant subject matters concerning the city. The Illinois Open Meeting Act 5 ILCS 120-1 mandates no action shall be taken on the subject matters not listed on the agenda, but the council may direct staff to address the topic or refer the subject matters to a future council and or committee. If anyone wishes to address the council, please provide your name and address, limit your comments or presentation to 3 minutes, and avoid repetitious comment. Anyone like to address the council?
Yeah, right here.
Name?
Derek McConnell, 214 East Vine Street. I am here to represent AFSCME Local 3349 Union President. We have asked some of our members, employees, and other members of the community to be here. The City Council has recently passed a dress code policy that affects several of its office employees without formal notification to AFSCME and the affected members. We should have been given a copy of this policy before it was implemented. By implementing such a policy, it has unilaterally changed the terms and conditions of employment. As you know, any such changes must be bargained over. That is the labor law. This is affecting multiple offices. Our members were hired with some of these attributes you are now trying to change, making our members cover up or remove items of personal attire, thereby discriminating against our members. None of these employees look out of sorts with these or go overboard. They are all presentable to the public and have been for years. You can go to any restaurant or place of business in our community and see these same types of characteristics. I still to this day have not been given an official copy of the policy that has been implemented. We are not saying there does not need to be a policy in place. We are simply saying let's sit down and have a labor management meeting over it. Let's figure it out together. This policy will determine who we are working next to in the future or limit who we can work next to in the future. It almost has always been the city council versus the employees or the members. Let's change that. We are asking you to rescind the dress code policy and put a formal hold on it, effective immediately, till we have had a chance to bargain over it.
Anyone else like to?
speak on it?
Kaylee Boston, 614 Virginia Avenue. I have a petition here that multiple employees of the city, as well as different businesses and people in the community, have signed. It states that the City Council has recently passed a discriminatory new dress code policy that only affects a handful of employees based off a complaint not received from the public. Not only is it unfair to current employees that have been working here for years that are now affected, but this new policy severely limits our hiring ability in today's workforce. Our previous policy stated, because of the many varied jobs we do, it is not possible to develop one all-encompassing and consistent dress code policy for all of the cities of Taylorville. As such, each department will determine its own appropriate dress policy via staff order, rule, or manual based upon the interaction with the public and tasking the functions performed. Recent arbitration in Chicago has found these policies to be arbitrary and unfair to their employees. Employees have been hired with tattoos and piercings and have acquired since additional tattoos and piercings during their employment with no negative consequences. To suddenly, without apparent reason, turn acceptable behavior into the workplace equivalent of criminal conduct is on its face a major change in the employee's working conditions. This petition is to be presented to the City Council to change the new policy to allow each department supervisor to determine the dress code as has been established in previous policies. This has been passed through multiple departments and things like that, so you'll have signatures on different pages, but I do have them here for you.
Anyone else like to speak?
David Moore, 813 East Cleveland. And to go along with the tattoos and piercings things, if you go by past precedents, you know, my grandfather, Rocky Moore, he worked for the city for 39 years. He served as superintendent of public works and an alderman. As many of you know, he was covered in tattoos. He had them on his hands, his arms, and everything. And just now to pass the no tattoos or anything is just a little off.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak?
I will. Crystal Nichols. I was not able to attend our last meeting for the union. I'm just here to say that not everybody in the union is in agreement with what has been said. There are some of us who don't have an issue with it, whether because it affects us or not, but simply because we understand the city's request for us to look professional while we're dealing with the public. So that's all I have to say.
Josh Nickel. This dress code doesn't affect me. I don't have tattoos, I don't have piercings. However, my only problem with it is you guys implement it without any discussion with the union. I'm on the E-board. We're more than happy to discuss it with you guys. Come up with something that works for both sides. We're not opposed to dress code. We just should have had knowledge of it ahead of time to where we can discuss it and come up with something that we're both happy with.
Anyone else? All right, seeing none, motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Alderman Bryant, second. Alderman Scarlett, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? We are adjourned.